What's up, Tesla family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla, SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. And break down what's going on with the economic calendar moving forward and some very important factors for the markets and how things are looking in my personal opinion. But let me just mention that I am not a financial planner, so make sure you take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link. You deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. You deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total. And the offer ends very soon, in just about 6 days from now. Anyways, for the market, I just want to mention that we're starting to see a lot of buyers defending after we got some interesting volatility. Just notes that in terms of the way the market's moving, we had the GDP numbers that came out, and they were looking quite decent overall. The market got an initial dip, but that ended up being a liquidity grab because we started to see a lot of buyers step in, start defending the way things were moving. So moving forward, we just got the manufacturing numbers. It's not really affecting us too much, and there's not really a whole lot else coming out except for some bill auctions at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Much of the data is already out, and so far the market's holding up quite well. So I'm going to start off with Tesla, then start talking about SPY and the others. We called out the 212 area for Tesla. That was a very, very critical level. This is where this red EMA happens to be. Tesla dips just under it, only to get bought back up, and we're actually seeing buyers defend it right over here. So that's why Tesla's pushing back up towards 225. 225 is or very close to 225 is where our resistance zone happens to be. If this breaks, we can be going all the way back up towards the higher levels, such as the high 220s, so like 228 to 229 would be our next targets if that were to break. So far, so good from Tesla. If you look at the levels we actually have, we're making a nice move. Break this 225 area, and I'll be looking for 229. So far, so good from Tesla, in my personal opinion. However, if this is just kind of like a dead cat bounce, if we do end up breaking below 215, I will turn a little bit more apprehensive for Tesla. We are breaking the structure right here, so this is looking more bullish, so it's looking pretty good in my personal opinion. So it is favoring upside and possibly even another break. For SPY, I'm going to actually hide these for 1 second. We had a nice bullish divergence that came out. We got a dip all the way down very close to our gap fill for 537, only to push back up. So now we have this key resistance at this 542 area. We are kind of trying to break through it and hold it right now. So we'll just have to see if we could hold 542 or not. If we close above this or hold it, I think we could get very close to 544 as the next target. If we fail to do so and we reject off 542, we'll look for 540 all over again. But so far, we're holding up decently. There are buyers defending, so we'll just see if we could hold 542. SPY is showing life. We're actually back in the green. So let's remain optimistic and see how it ends up going from here. But so far, so good for the bulls. For Nvda, we got a little dip all the way down to about 106, only to get bought back up. We had resistance around this 115 area, and now we're going to be watching to see if we break this. If we break through 115, I'll be looking for 118. If we fail to do so, we could be dipping back down. So far, it's struggling to really break past 115, but we'll see. Things could change over time. So let's see if Nvidia can break 115. That's going to be our big level to watch for. If we fail to do so, I'll be looking for a retest of 112 and eventually 110. So far, so good from Nvidia, though. We are trying to push, so we'll give it some time just to see how things end up going. For Bitcoin, we are trying to rebound as well. If we hold above 64,680, I could be looking for pushback up to 65,200. If you end up losing 64,600, look for a little dip, but this does favor a little bit of a push. For other factors like ES has resistance at 54.82. If that breaks, we could be looking for a bigger push for 5,500 plus. That could actually lead to a bigger pump. So far, it's barely testing resistance at 54.82, so we'll see if that breaks or not. For SPX, we're trying to rebound. We're going to be looking at this resistance around 54.44. If this breaks, we could be pushing up higher, so we'll have to give that a little bit more time. For others out there, we have NQ. If NQ manages to break past 19,250, we'll be looking for a pump all the way back up towards 19,500. If it rejects, we'll be coming back down. We're going to be testing this resistance right here at 19,250. We'll see if NQ could break that or not. So right now, we'll just be very, very patient and see if we could try to get that break. The QQQ is looking decent, but in order for this to look better, I want to see if it could break past 464. So right now, watch 460 as key support. If we hold above this, we'll look decent. Okay, if we lose this, we're not going to look good. This could reject again. So watch 460 as a key support, not to mention 462. Watch those two levels. And then for resistance, let's see if we could break 464. If we break 464 or even close above that, that's going to be a good sign for tomorrow. So that's going to be a key resistance. Watch to see if the QQQ could break that or not. For Apple has resistance at 218.73. If we break that, I'll be looking for 220. If we fail to do so, we have support right here, very close to 216, and also down here at 215. Overall, there's potential for us to break out towards 218.73. If that breaks, we could push higher. We'll watch to see if that ends up being the case. Apple's, whether we make a nice move or not is dependent on different factors, and we'll see if we break the 20 EMA or not. So we'll give this some time just to see how things end up moving. But Apple does have potential to push higher. We just have to see if we can try to break past that 218 resistance. So far, so good from Apple. I think it might shuffle and maybe make an attempt to break. I'm also liking the IWM. I think that this has potential to go all the way up. I actually reached my target of 222. Could go higher if we end up breaking that. Supports over here around 221, and then we also have 220. So far, it's holding up very well. I think that this could start to continue to break out as time goes on. So it has a very, very nice amount of potential, and it's looking pretty good so far. For others out there, we also have Coinbase. Coinbase is kind of trading sideways. We pumped up here to about 240, came back down. So we're kind of struggling to hold 240. I'll be looking to see how we react to 234. If that breaks, we'll be looking for a dip all the way down towards 230. We also have 240's resistance, so we're kind of stuck between 234 and 240. We might just go back and forth for now. I did like this liquidity being grabbed, but in order for us to turn bullish, we have to break at least 243. We have not done so far, so we're going to likely continue to shuffle. For a few more, we have Amazon. Looking at Amazon, I do want to mention something very important. So when we were talking about Amazon, we mentioned the fact that there was a very, very big shift. We had kind of like a head and shoulders like structure, and with that forming, Amazon kind of struggled to really get that break. So that in essence is what led to this big shift. Sorry about that, guys. I think my screen was lagging for a second. We got a nice little dip all the way down to where our target was, but the issue was we weren't able to go all the way down to 175. We actually ended up getting bought up beforehand. So now their buyers trying to bring us back up to about 182. So 182 could be our next target. I think so far we're holding up decently. So I'll be looking for a little bit of a push so far. Meta's also trying to rebound. We'll have to see if we can break past 460. If that breaks, look for 464. If we fail to do so, we also have the support right here around 455. So I do see potential for this to push a little bit higher. For Microsoft, it's going to likely retest 425. We'll see if that breaks or not. It's still a little bit lackluster like Meta compared to the market. Google's also trying to go for 175. If we break that, I'll be looking for 178. So far, it's a little lackluster, but there is a little bit of potential for it to rebound. But we've got to try to get back above 175. Anyways, that's it for my video. I want to keep it kind of short from this point on. Thank you all for listening. The market is getting bought back up. I did mention this in the morning that I did see this potentially happening. I just wasn't sure how it would kind of like pan out. I wasn't sure if we would see like a pump and then a dump after, or if we would dump first and then pump. What happened was we dumped first just because Wall Street and these institutions were getting ready for a pump. And that's what happened so far. So there is more upside potential, but make sure you watch the levels I called out and we'll see how well SPY, Tesla, and the others end up holding up. With that being said, thank you for listening. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you guys very soon on the next one. Thank you and peace out.